Started with a list. 10 handwritten goals. Nothing about billion-dollar IPOs. Nothing about global fame. Just one man's quiet hope. To feel something real. Elijah Westbrook stood barefoot on a quiet Charleston beach, wind tousling his dark curls. His eyes fixed on the horizon, where waves met sky like a whispered promise. In his hand, a folded page trembled slightly in the breeze. #3. Spend one night with someone who sees me. Not the empire I built. He had everything except the courage to let someone close enough to see the man beneath the genius. The virgin billionaire, whispered about in elite circles, never confirmed the rumors. Never cared to. Until tonight. A few steps away, laughter bubbled like champagne from a beachside tiki bar. That's where she was. Camila Hart was glowing under string lights, her sun-kissed curls wild from dancing. Her smile warm enough to melt defenses. She wasn't looking for anything serious either. Just one night to feel alive again. Their eyes met. He looked out of place. Buttoned shirt, tension in his shoulders, soul in his gaze. She tilted her head, intrigued. You look like a man who needs rescuing. Or a drink. Elijah blinked. I don't drink. Her grin widened. Perfect. Neither do I. I'm Cam. He hesitated. I'm just Elijah. He didn't offer a last name. He liked the way she said his. Under moonlight they walked. Shared secrets they'd never admitted aloud. He told her he'd never done certain things before. She didn't laugh. She leaned in. Then let me be your first something. Kiss on the pier. A night tangled in sheets and shadows. One night. No last names. No expectations. By morning she was gone. And so was his list. Tucked neatly into her coat pocket, forgotten in the rush of goodbye. 3 months later. Elijah's list was back in his drawer, untouched. The mystery woman haunted his thoughts more than any software glitch. Meanwhile, Camila Hart carried something even more surprising. A secret fluttering under her ribs. Twice. Twin heartbeats. One impossible night. One unforgettable man. But fate. It wasn't finished with them. Because when Camila walked into a sleek boardroom to begin work on a new neonatal outreach initiative, there he was. Elijah Westbrook. The billionaire. Or first. The father of the twins growing inside her. He didn't recognize her. But her knees nearly buckled. Now she's keeping the biggest secret of her life. And he's unknowingly standing a few steps away from everything he's ever wanted. But love built on secrets. It can only last if both hearts are finally ready to come clean. Have you ever had a night you thought you could walk away from? But your heart stayed behind. If you believe in fated love, mysterious beginnings, and heart-thudding twists, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Made of Love. A warm breeze lifts strands of Camila Hart's hair as she sways to soft acoustic music, cocktail in hand, the golden light of lanterns flickering across her sun-kissed skin. Her laugh bubbles up as her best friend nudges her toward a man sitting alone at the end of the pier bar. Come on, Cam. Vacation rules. You promised you'd flirt at least once, her friend teases. Camila's eyes fall on the stranger nursing a glass of water. Dressed in a sharp black button-up with sleeves rolled just enough to reveal elegant wrists. He looked powerful and out of place. Like a man used to controlling worlds, not sipping drinks in flip-flop territory. She arches a brow, then slides off her sandal and walks toward him barefoot. Hips swaying with quiet confidence. Bad day or bad date? She asks, settling beside him on the barstool. Her tone is playful, her eyes curious. Elijah Westbrook blinks up, startled. He wasn't expecting company, especially not the kind that smells like coconut sunscreen and sunshine. His voice catches, but he recovers. Neither. Just processing, he says simply, fingers nervously tapping the side of his glass. Camila chuckles. Well, that's vague. Want to try again with something less cryptic? He pauses, then smiles barely. I'm crossing something off my list. Her curiosity deepens. What kind of list? He hesitates, then decides. One I wrote a long time ago. For when I was finally ready to stop watching life and actually live it. Camila's playful demeanor softens. There's something about his voice, a quiet sadness wrapped in control. She can't place it, but it draws her in. So, how many have you crossed off so far? Shrugs. Just one. Tonight. She leans in, whispering. What was it? B. Then softly. Talk to a beautiful woman without panicking. Camila bites her lip, charmed despite herself. The way he says it, completely sincere, no arrogance, makes her heart flutter unexpectedly. They talk. About books. About what keeps them awake at night. About loss, hope, and things people rarely say out loud. Elijah is quiet but deliberate. Camila is warm, spontaneous, unfiltered. The hours melt into stars, the music fades to waves, and laughter fills the empty spaces between them. So what's next on your list? She asks, eyes locked on his. My first kiss. Real one. Not the kind from dares or awkward college parties. Camila inhales, her pulse quickening. Are you asking me? He nods. Vulnerable, nervous, brave. She moves closer, their knees touching. Then let's make it count, she whispers. Their kiss is soft at first. Gentle. Moo. Then it deepens, raw, aching with something unspoken. And when they part, breathless, they know something irreversible just happened. At dawn. The two in bed. Sheet draped silhouettes. Sunrise through the window. They lie in silence, bodies tangled, hearts pounding. Should we exchange names? He asks, voice barely audible. Let's keep tonight a memory, she replies. No labels. No expectations. He nods, though a part of him aches. And when Camila slips out with a soft goodbye and a kiss on his cheek, Elijah holds onto the imprint like it's the first page of a book he doesn't know how to finish. 3 months later. At Prestige Women's Hospital, Boston. Camila stands in front of a sleek glass door that reads, Neonatal Advancement Initiative. Orientation. She adjusts her cardigan, her hand resting unconsciously over her small, yet unmistakable baby bump. You've got this, she murmurs to herself. Inside, medical professionals fill the modern boardroom. Camila takes a seat, hoping no one notices the nausea creeping up her throat. The side door opens. A man steps in. Composed. Wearing tailored gray and that same quiet command. Elijah. Her heart slams against her ribs. He's the funder. The silent backer. The head of the program. He doesn't recognize her. His gaze sweeps the room, pausing on her only briefly. There's no flicker of recognition. No catching of breath. But her world tilts. The man who changed everything doesn't even know it. She quickly looks away, panic rising. How is she supposed to work here? With him. Knowing she carries not just a piece of their night, but 2 growing lives. Later that day, at the rooftop garden outside the neonatal wing, Camila leans on the railing, taking in air, when Elijah joins her unexpectedly. The project matters to me, he says, glancing sideways. Too much tech is detached from human need. This makes it personal. She nods, unsure what to say. He doesn't remember her, yet every word he speaks chips away at her resolve. You seem familiar, he adds suddenly. Have we met before? Her pulse spikes. Probably just one of those faces, she deflects quickly. Hospitals blur together. He studies her a bit longer, then lets it go. What made you want to work with infants? Camila smiles faintly. They're fighters. And they love without conditions. That sounds terrifying. He laughs. It's the only kind of love worth having. Their eyes lock. Something stirs between them again. Unspoken. Electric. Camila's fingers brush the cradle necklace around her throat. A nervous habit she thought she'd shaken. She's hiding so much. Twins. The truth. The one night that changed everything. Elijah's apartment. Late that night. Elijah stands in his modern, museum-quiet penthouse. On the kitchen island sits the now creased paper of his list. He traces a finger over the next line. Number 3, find her again. He doesn't know she's already found him. And Camila. She stares at the ultrasound photo in her apartment, wondering how long before secrets become scars. What would you do if the person who changed your life forgot who you were? Would you tell them the truth? Or walk away to protect your heart? Tell us in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're loving the twists already. Early morning, at the neonatal project wing. Camila walks briskly down the pristine hallway, coffee in one hand, a file folder in the other. Her scrubs cling to her still slim figure, but her eyes betray the weight she carries, the twins growing inside her, and the truth she's afraid to tell. She pauses outside the executive lounge, debating whether to knock. Inside, Elijah sits at the long glass table, reviewing a report, his brow furrowed in that deliciously intense way that once made her weak at the knees. He opens the door. "Elijah," she says softly. He looks up surprised but pleased. "Camila, you're early. I wanted to run some notes by you before the morning rounds." He gestures for her to sit. As she lays out her papers, their hands brush, and both freeze, heat rippling between them. For a moment, it's not about data or donor targets. Just her and him. "I like this side of you," he says suddenly. Camila blinks. "Which side?" "The part that always looks like she's holding a secret." She laughs, nervous, caught off guard. "Maybe I am. That's the thing about secrets," he murmurs. "They eventually demand to be known." Several days later. Training sessions, shared moments, growing bond. Camila soothing a crying newborn in the neonatal wing. Elijah watching from the observation window, captivated. The two working late, laughing over takeout and scribbled notes on napkins. Camila pausing mid-task to press a hand to her belly when she thinks no one's looking. While Elijah walks by, pausing briefly, sensing something but not sure what. Musical note, a soft instrumental swells underneath. They begin orbiting each other emotionally. Gravitational pull too strong to resist. At the rooftop garden. One night after work, the hospital city lights flicker like stars below. Camila and Elijah sit on a bench, shoulders barely touching. "You know," she begins, swirling her tea, "most people in your position wouldn't spend time in a neonatal unit." Shrugs. "I needed to remember what it's like to be vulnerable." "Why now?" Then Elijah exhales and looks at her, eyes raw. "Because for the first time in my life, I want more than legacy and logic. I want connection. I want to feel something real." Camila's breath catches. "What changed?" "A night I've never stopped thinking about." He stills. He continues. "There was this woman. We didn't exchange names. But she made me feel like I wasn't broken." Camila's heart thunders. She wants to say something. She wants to scream. But instead she smiles softly and says, "She sounds unforgettable." She was. Hospital supply room. The secret escalates. Camila stands frozen, an ultrasound photo clutched in her hand. It had accidentally printed with the day's patient reports, and before she could shred it, Elijah's assistant picked it up. Now it's too late. Because when she walks out, she finds Elijah outside the break room, holding the image. His eyes are unreadable. "Congratulations," he says tightly, voice clipped. Camila's breath stops. "It's not what you think. You don't owe me explanations," he says coldly. "Your life is your own." And with that, he turns and walks away, leaving her breathless, angry and aching. He doesn't know. He thinks they're someone else's. And she's afraid that if she tells him, she'll lose the last piece of their fragile, fated connection. At Elijah's penthouse. Later that night. He stares at the ultrasound. He remembers the softness of her voice. The way she touched his cheek that night. It couldn't be her, could it? Timelines match. The feeling in his gut won't go away. He slams his laptop shut and curses under his breath. He's spent his life trusting no one, And now the one person who made him feel safe might have betrayed him. Or maybe she's scared too. At Hospital Chapel. The next evening, Elijah finds Camila in the small, quiet chapel tucked between wings. She's alone, sitting in the back pew, head bowed, fingers clutching her cradle necklace. He sits beside her without a word. Long silence. I should have told you, she whispers. But I didn't know how. He doesn't speak. It was me. That night on the beach. I didn't plan it. I didn't even think I'd see you again. And when I did, I was already pregnant. She pauses, tears in her eyes. I thought you'd see me differently. That you'd think I took advantage of your innocence. Elijah looks down at his hands. Then slowly, pulls something from his coat pocket. A folded piece of paper. Her heart stutters. It's the list. His when I'm ready list. He hands it to her. She reads. Number 1. Talk to a beautiful woman without panicking. Number 2. My first real kiss. Number 3. My first night. Not about sex but about trust. Number 4. Find her again. Number 5. Tell her. She changed everything. Camila blinks back tears. I didn't betray you, Elijah. I fell for you. He takes her hand. You were my first. And I want you to be my last. They lean in, this time no anonymity, no pretense. Just two people who've hurt, healed, and chosen each other against all odds. Elijah feeling the twins kick for the first time. His face transformed by wonder. Camila showing him how to swaddle a teddy bear. Elijah surprising her with a tiny charm shaped like 2 stars, clipped beside her cradle necklace. The two of them slow dancing in the dim hospital hallway, music playing from a phone speaker, their foreheads pressed together. Everything is out now. And yet one thing remains. Will he stay? Will she believe he can? Have you ever hidden the truth because you were scared to lose love? Do secrets protect us? Or destroy what we're trying to keep? Let us know in the comments. If you're still rooting for Camila and Elijah, give this video a like and make sure you're subscribed for what's next. Late evening at the neonatal wing. Camila checks the monitors above the bassinets, her fingers gentle, her gaze soft. Her patients, tiny, fragile miracles, breathe evenly under her care. But her own breath feels out of sync. Her confession to Elijah has left her exposed. And for hours he hasn't called, texted or come by. The worst part. She doesn't regret telling him. She regrets not doing it sooner. Just as she wipes down a warming crib, a familiar voice breaks the silence behind her. I didn't leave because I was angry. He turns. Elijah stands there, unshaven, eyes rimmed with exhaustion and something more, heartbreak. I left because I needed to believe I deserved this. Camila's chest tightens. You do. He steps closer. When you told me the truth, I didn't know whether to be terrified or grateful. I've spent my whole life thinking I had to be perfect before I could be loved. His voice cracks. But then you saw me. Awkward, inexperienced, unsure, and still wanted me. And now you're carrying a part of me that I never knew I could give. Tears glisten in Camila's eyes. He pauses, then asks gently, Can I see them? She leads him to the quiet corner of the ward, where her latest ultrasound images are pinned up. One black and white image in particular holds his gaze. 2 tiny silhouettes. Tangled. Peaceful. They're already perfect, he whispers, voice reverent. They're ours, she replies. Then the storm hits, at the hospital boardroom. The next morning Elijah's board storms into the neonatal project's review meeting. One of his investors, a prickly man named Braxton, slams down a file. You personally approved over $500,000 in funding for this maternity wing. Without board consensus. Because it matters. It's sentiment, Braxton snaps. It's exposure. And it's not profitable. Camila sits at the far end of the room, frozen. Elijah rises, unflinching. Then pull out, he says coldly. Excuse me. If you're looking for profit over impact, you're not the kind of partners Phoenix Innovations needs. I'd rather build with people who see value in healing lives, not just counting them. Silence. He looks directly at Camila, his voice softer. This project saved me. And I'll protect it, with or without your money. Mic drop. Later that night, at Camila's apartment, a knock came on her door. When Camila opens it, Elijah is standing there, holding a small velvet box. She smiles, confused but intrigued. What's that? He opens it. Inside, a delicate gold charm shaped like a scroll, etched onto it. You made me ready. She gasps softly. I know it's not a ring, he says. But I'm not asking you to marry me. Not yet. I'm asking you to let me stay. To build this together. He kneels, not proposing but offering himself fully. No secrets, no mask, no conditions. Camila takes the charm, clips it next to her grandmother's cradle necklace, and kisses him like an answer. Time skip, 2 months later. Like a dream. Elijah attending prenatal classes, awkwardly cradling a watermelon to simulate a belly. Camila coaching him through baby CPR while he tries not to pass out. The two painting a nursery together, splashing paint and laughing breathlessly. Quiet mornings where he reads "Good Night Moon" to her belly. Their connection growing, physically, emotionally, spiritually. It's not a fairy tale, but it's theirs, and it's real. Then came a surprise baby shower. At the neonatal wing lounge. The hospital throws a surprise baby shower for Camila, organized by her nurse friends and Elijah, who shows up wearing a dad loading t-shirt that makes everyone laugh. Midway through the celebration, Elijah stands to speak. He clears his throat, suddenly shy. I used to keep a list. Things I wanted to do. When I was ready. First kiss. First dance. First time. It was about waiting for the right person. Someone I could trust. Someone who made me feel enough. He turns to Camila, eyes shimmering. You weren't on the list. But you became every reason I wrote it. Everyone falls silent. Camila's hand clutches her necklace. You gave me something I never knew I needed. Family. Then her face tenses. Elijah, she whispers, grabbing his arm. What is it? My water just broke. Laughter turns to chaos. It's time. At the labor and delivery room. That night. With soft beeping. Dim lights. Camila lies on the hospital bed. Sweat glistening, breath heavy. Elijah is at her side. His hand never leaving hers. You've done harder things, he says, trying to be calm. She chuckles through a contraction. Like falling for a virgin billionaire. Exactly. Whoosh. Cry. And suddenly, the first twins' cry fills the room. Moments later, a second wail. The doctor smiles. 2 perfect babies. A boy and a girl. Camila sobs. Elijah is silent, completely undone. They hand him the swaddled twins. He looks at them, then at her. You were the first. You'll always be. Then 1 month later. Coastal home at dusk. Their seaside house glows with soft fairy lights. Inside, Camila nurses while Elijah reads aloud from one of his childhood books. 2 bassinets. Photo frame with their beach picture. The scroll charm shines beside the cradle charm on Camila's neck. She looks up and whispers. You're a natural. He kisses her temple. I had the right teacher. The camera pans out slowly. Quiet, content, real. Their love wasn't perfect. But it was earned. And it would last. Would you take a chance on someone who's never loved before? Do you believe in love that starts with a secret and ends with forever? If this story touched you, like, share and subscribe to Made of Love. There's more passion, heartbreak, and redemption where this came from. 1 year later, at the coastal backyard. The sky glows pink as the sun dips below the horizon. Wind chimes whisper. A soft breeze dances through the open patio doors of Elijah and Camila's beachside home. Camila sits on a blanket under a flowering trellis, feeding their daughter while Elijah gently rocks their son nearby. The twins gurgle happily. completely unaware that the world once felt uncertain. Camila smiles, watching Elijah speak softly to their son, about stars, dreams, and why bedtime stories matter. He's different now. Still brilliant. Still intense. But softer. Warmer. Present. She remembers the night they met, the thrill of that first touch, the silence of secrets held between strangers. Then, the ache of truth. The fear of loss. And now this. A love that grew not from perfection but persistence. Not from fantasy but choice. Elijah turns and catches her watching. He walks over, presses a kiss to her forehead and whispers, "I never thought I could have this. Family. But every step, even the messy ones, led me here." She chuckles, her voice hushed but certain. Sometimes the best things come when we're not ready but willing. They sit in comfortable silence as twilight settles. And then Camila lifts a small velvet box. "I have something for you." Elijah opens it to find a matching charm for his keychain. A tiny silver cradle next to a scroll engraved, "First. Forever." His eyes shine with emotion as he attaches it beside the tag labeled, "When I'm ready." And in that quiet backyard surrounded by the echoes of new beginnings, he realizes. He's no longer preparing to live. He's living. Fully. Unapologetically. Lovingly. Have you ever taken a leap before you felt ready? And found something beautiful on the other side? What would you do if one unforgettable night changed everything? If this story moved you, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe for more soul-stirring love stories. And share this video with someone who believes in second chances. Let us know in the comments. Do you believe real love is worth waiting and fighting for? Turn on notifications so you never miss a moment made of love. Sometimes the love we're meant for doesn't wait for perfect timing. It arrives when we're raw, vulnerable, and unsure. And it's in those unexpected beginnings that the truest, deepest connections are born.